All right, let's do some Mathity-Math. Okay, it says find the points of intersection for the equations. Okay, so we have two equations. We have f of x is 10x squared minus 6x minus 4, and we have g of x equals 9x squared minus 13x minus 16. So we got these two functions right here, f of x and g of x. They're both quadratics. Okay, so we have two parabolas. So it's basically saying you have these two parabolas. Where do those two parabolas intersect, or where do those two parabolas cross each other? So when a line or a parabola, when they cross, at that moment of crossing, they are the same thing. And so because of the same thing, we say in math there, well, they are equal. So if they are equal, we can just set them equal. So I'm just going to say here, okay, well, 10x squared minus 6x minus 4 is equal to 9x squared minus 13x minus 16. Cool, we got it. Okay, the next step, we want to combine like terms, and we want to move everything to the left. When we're dealing with quadratics and we move into standard form, we always move left. So let's see, if I subtract 9x from both sides, 9x squared from both sides, 10x squared minus 9x squared would just give me x squared. I add 13x to both sides, so negative 6x plus 13x would give me 7x, right? And then I add 16 to both sides, and so that would give me plus 12 equals 0. Okay, so now we have this quadratic. We need to factor it and find, we need to find those solutions for x, or those x intercepts, or the x values of the intercepts. So when you look at this, what we can do here is you can take your a value, your a coefficient, in this case it's 1, and multiply it by your c coefficient, which is, or not coefficient, your c value, which is 12. So 1 times 12 gives you 12. And sometimes you see it like this with this little x. Okay, so we're going to find factors of 12 that when we add them together, when they're added together, they give us 7. Okay? So let's look at this. If we have factors of 12 that add together to give us positive 7, everything's going to be positive in this case, so we can have 1 and 12. 1 plus 12 is 12, so that's not it. We can have 2 and 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 plus 6 is 8. That's not it. And then we could have 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 plus 4 is 7. So there's our winner. So we're using 3, and we're using 4. Now, at this point, you can actually solve this two ways. There is a shortcut. And the shortcut basically is that because a value is 1, we know that this is going to be it. So let me just, we know that it's going to be x plus 3 and x plus 4 equals 0, and then you can use the zero product property to find those x values. But let's take a second here and show the other way, just in case you don't want to use the shortcut. So in the other case, you would rewrite it as x squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 12 equals 0. Okay, and all I did was rewrite b as 3 plus 4. Okay, because 7x is the same as 3x plus 4x. The next step is you group them. You say x squared plus 3x, and that's just adding parentheses, and then 4x plus 12 equals 0. Then you go to the binomial, and you say, okay, what can I factor out of here? And if you look at this, the only thing that can factor out of here, because these two terms, all they have in common is an x. So I can just factor out this x, and I get x plus 3. And here, the only thing they have in common is a 4. So I could factor out that 4, and now we get x plus 3. And you can see that these are the same. That means we're on the right track and all is well in the world. So then we could say, okay, well, I take what's outside. My x and my 4 are outside, so that's my first binomial, x plus 4. And I have x plus 3, right? So I just rewrite that one time. X plus 3 equals 0. And you can see x plus 4, x plus 3, x plus 4, x plus 3. It's the same thing. You can skip all of this if and only if, right here, your a coefficient is 1. So because it's 1, I can go straight here, okay? But if this is the way you learned it, if you did this, you would get to the same place. But if you want to skip all that work, in this case, no big deal. So from here, we use a zero product property to say, well, that means x plus 3 is 0 and x plus 4 is 0, okay? So then to isolate x, we know that x is -3 and x is -4. All right, so for our final solution now, we know that the x value is -3 and -4. So for instance, for my final answer right here, I know this crossing at 2 points. I know it crosses at -3 and something happens here for the y. And I know it crosses at -4 and something happens here at the y. To find those y values, all we do is plug these back into, oh, you can't see what I wrote. I'm sorry. There you go. So these will be our final answers. And we're going to try and find these y's to complete our answer. So going here, all I got to do now is plug -3 back into these, and then plug -4 back into these and see what the y is. Now, in this case, I'm going to rewrite it, show you how it looks, and then I'm just going to put it straight into my calculator. So this one up here, f of x, I'm going to rewrite this as f of -3, right? This -3 right here. So f of -3 is 10, and we put -3 squared minus 6, -3 minus 4. Okay? And actually I'm going to do it in both because I should get the same answer no matter which function I use, because at this point they're supposed to be the same. Sorry, 9. They're supposed to be the same. So this is a great way to make sure you're on the right track. Okay? There you go. Okay, so I have 9 instead of x, I wrote -3 squared minus 13 times -3 minus 16. Okay, so if I get the same value twice, then I know I'm on the right track. So I'm just going to plug this in. Let's see if you guys see that directly into it, and you can see exactly what's going on. And the reason why I can go straight into my calculator is because I took the time to make sure I input that -3 with parentheses. Here we go. 10 parentheses -3 parentheses squared minus 6 -3 minus 4. And you can see I just from here to here, and I hit enter, I should get f of -3 is 104. Now I'm gonna check it with my other one too to make sure I'm on the right track, right? If you're given the opportunity to check your work, if you're given the opportunity to, oh boy. If you're given the opportunity to check your work, I encourage you to take it, because what a gift to know if you did it right, the easy way compared to, getting it marked wrong and finding out the hard way. And then I got 104 twice, and that all checks out. So f of -3 and g of -3 is 104. So that's my first point of intersection right here, -3 and 104. Boom, pow. All right. So now we're going to plug in my -4. The same idea. It's essentially this thing here again, the same function, f of -4. I guess I can take the time to show you. F of -4 is 10 parentheses -4 squared minus 6 -4 minus 4. And then g of -4 would be 9 -4 squared minus 13 -4 minus 16. And again, all I'm doing here is using these two functions and taking out the x and putting in my -4. Okay. I wonder if this would work. If I hit this again, and I just go back and I change it to a 4, can I get away with one? 4, look at that. Just like that, I got it in. It gives me 180. Let's see here. So f of -4 is 180. Let's go up to my 9. Let's see if I can get this to work too. Risky business here, but save us some time. There we go. Boom, 180. Oh, g. There you go. G of -4 is 180. Okay, so there you go. Shoot. So we know that our 2 points of intersection are right here. You go back 3, up 104, that's where the parabola intersects once. Back 4, up 180, that's where the parabola intersects the second time. And just to make a quick sketch, this is by no means to scale or accurate, but like if you think about it, here's a parabola and here's a parabola. They cross in 2 different places, and that's what we're looking at. Alrighty, there you go. If I didn't make any sense or I went too fast, leave a comment below and I'll try to clarify. And if you like the Mathity-Math and you want to be notified when you get more Mathity-Math, go ahead and subscribe to Mathity-Math. Bye.